Thank you for joining us for the 2-minute drills. I'm Aram Talegian, joined on my right by Steve Ramirez, and behind the camera, Fred J. Robledo. We're talking about the Valle Vista League right now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, serious implications on the league championship and the playoff race. And now keep in mind, this is a Mid-Valley division, and in the Mid-Valley, there's only 2 guaranteed playoff spots per league.
That's right.
And then 4 at-large spots. So you really want to finish second at the very least here. Well, Northview's in first place right now, but the game we're going to talk about is Covina, 6-2, 3-0 in league, hosting San Dimas, 5-3, 2-1 in league. This is going down at Covina District Field Friday night at 7 o'clock. Freddie's going to be there. Guys, I set the stage pretty well here. I mean, Stevie, this is about playoffs and league titles, because if Covina can win this game, they're going into Week 10 undefeated in league and presumably going to play undefeated in league Northview for the league championship.
Yeah, because Northview's got an easy game this week. They're playing Nogales.
I mean, with the Covina win, this kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off them for next week.
Right.
I mean, you still want to win the league
title. It takes the pressure off you.
Well, the playoff pressure.
Playoff pressure.
Yeah, if you win this game, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And obviously, you want to win the league title. There's that pressure. But at first, you want to accomplish that goal of getting to the playoffs, and by beating San Dimas, I'd have to get that. If San Dimas wins, it's possible there could be a 3-way tie.
Yes.
I think the pressure's on San Dimas because if they lose this game and go to 5-4, and let's say they win their last game and finish 6-4 and finish third, I don't know that that's a guaranteed at-large berth at 6-4, and I think it would be. I think a Valle Vista League, when you look at the leagues here, I think they're one that probably gets one. Again, you'd have to look at the tiebreaker system and the formulas. They played a pretty good non-league schedule, league schedule. I mean, I think they're a team that would be okay. But you're right. There's nothing better than winning and getting in.
Yeah,
and if San Dimas wins, Aram,
yeah,
it sets up that possibility of a crazy 3-way tie scenario.
Yeah,
if they beat Covina and Covina beats Northview, 3-way tie for first, flip.
Right.
One team would probably get an at-large berth for sure.
Right.
But it leaves all the scenarios up for grabs.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Fred. I think the third-place team out of this league will get one of the 4 bids.
Yeah.
I don't think the Mission Valley League is going to get one of the at-larges. They didn't last year, and I don't think they will
It's going to come down to will one league get 2 at-large berths, because the 2 leagues that won't get an at-large berth for sure are probably the Miramonte and the Montview.
Okay,
you can knock those out.
That would leave the other 4
leagues
to
get 1 each. As I said, if one gets 2, that's the only thing that could screw it.
I'm wondering if the Almont would get 1.
That's a good. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't. But then again, if it's Sure, Bell Gardens, and Montebello, okay, we're getting off track. Let's get back to
this game.
I mean, this Covina team, I've always kind of had one eye on them this whole year. Have I actually seen them play? No. But I view them as a very dangerous team. And, they had that loss, Freddie, to Baldwin Park, which kind of, derailed things a little bit in my mind and maybe the minds of others. But I still think they're a very dangerous team. One that, may give Northview a really good game the following week. So as far as that's concerned, if I'm San Dimas, I'm very worried.
Yeah, I mean, this is they proved that they can compete against quality teams when they pushed Claremont pretty tough.
Right.
And they maybe gave a little bit back a week later when they did lose a ballpark. Yeah. But this is a team who can step up. And San Dimas should be a little worried if they're not at the top of their game, they could lose this game.
Look, I've had a chance to sit back and really look at it all. When you look at San Dimas, the entirety of their season, they haven't really beaten anybody this year. And in some of the games they've lost to now, and you look back, Diamond Bar, at the time that looked like maybe that Diamond Bar might be a factor. In league, and it's obviously they've not. They've struggled. Everyone's beating them in league now. They could finish last. That's not a very good loss for San Dimas now. You look at Bonita, who wound up handling them. Bonita's a team that's going to fight to get in their playoffs. You look at Covina, that loss to Baldwin Park, Steve. You look at Baldwin Park's non-league schedule, if you go back, it was pretty competitive, some of those games they've lost. They've handled their business. Since the Covina game, they haven't lost. They're going to run the table in the Montview. And when you look at what Covina did, the one game I was able to get out this year on a Thursday night, have a slice of pizza and a soda and take the kids, was that game against Claremont. And I saw them play them really tough. In that game, they lost on a last-second field goal to a Claremont team that's very, very good. Yeah. And they may even have a shot at the Palomares if they can beat Glendora this week.
Right.
I mean, so I really like what Covina's done. What they've done to me has been as equally as impressive as Northview. And when you just compare scores of what they've done to some of these other teams, very comparative. They blew out, just this past week, Roland 42-14. And Roland's been one of those teams in the Valley Vista that's a team that on any given night can give some teams a game. And they blew right through them. I really like Covina in this game. I really like their chances to set up that Week 10 winner-take-all in the Valley Vista with rival Northview, which would just be epic. It's always great when these two teams play. We've seen the pranks over the years, the things they've done. If you can go into Week 10 with those teams both 4-0 in league, that's going to be fun, and I really see it happening.
If I may, I want to say that I saw San Dimas against Bonita. They were controlling that game, Fred. That's something to remember. Before they had a couple punting team mistakes that turned things around. Again, if San Dimas is able to get into its comfort zone and dictate the flow of the game, something they really weren't able to do against Northview. I know they rallied late, but something they really weren't able to do. If they're able to get into that zone in this spot, they're going to win the game. They have the running game. They have Jarrell Sykes. He's one of the better runners in the area. They have the defense. I'm going with San Dimas in this game. I just think they're the more battle-tested as far as these big games, and I think that they finally break through in one of these spots. It's going to take that Claremont effort out of Covina to win this game.
Yeah.
And Covina, maybe they have that effort in them, and I won't really get excited about Covina until I actually see it happen first. So I'm going to take San Dimas. I just feel like there's a lot of guys on this team that have been in big games before. You talk about Josiah Erickson. I mean, as a sophomore, he's playing in CIF championship games, winning CIF titles. These guys, especially on defense, they know what they're doing. I think San Dimas has a real chance to control this thing and win the game.
Yeah, I mean, for San Dimas' point, I think what they have to worry about is not getting behind too early in this game, which right. I saw that against Cal, but they were able to find what they needed to do, and they came back and won that game. And I think it could be that type of game when Sykes kind of gets going. He's a tough guy to stop, and so I'm picking San Dimas, but I think it's going to be.
I'm the only Covina pick, huh?
Competitive game.
And hey, it's San Dimas on paper. I mean, they're the favorite. They're ranked 6th in the Mid Valley. Covina's 8th. I mean, just looking at these rankings too, Aram, it looks like all three of these teams will eventually get in the playoffs.
But you never want to leave it to chance, Fred.
No.
You never want to leave it to the
And you don't want to be a third-place team going against the league champion,
true.
although I think a third-place team in this league could very well get Pomona in the first round. That's the danger, that team from the Miramonte champion. So you've got to watch those things.
Or a trip to Pericles.
Or a trip to Sierra Canyon. Yeah, undefeated Sierra Canyon. So, yeah, big game. I got Covina. You guys got San Dimas. Yeah. Should be a really, really good game regardless.
Say hi to Freddie out there, fans.
That's right. I have my pepperoni pizza.